Hello everyone and welcome back to Fabled Lands, and let's just continue where we left off with Hauki. And where we left off is basically needing to go to the other place, to Sokara. Let's just make sure that I go to the right place. Yellowport, okay. Welcome to Yellowport. Sure. Seek a blessing. Might as well. Talk to the High Priest. The High Priest tells you that the golden net of the twin gods has been stolen. The repulsive ones have taken it to their palace beneath the sea in the sunken city of Sisudra. The repulsive ones worship the fish god Oannes, who struggles with Alvir and Valmir for control of the sea. We must have that golden net, or the repulsive ones will use it against us. If you return it to us, we will reward you, says the High Priest. The sunken city lies under the coastal waters off the Shadar Tor. Yeah, and we accept the High Priest's mission. Give blessing. And leave. Well, while we're here, the Gold Dust Tavern is a plush inn beside the city gates. The tavern costs you 1 shard a day. Yeah. Buy drinks all around. You fall into conversation with Palietis, a kindly old scholar priest of Mulhern, the god of knowledge. Many years ago, the Book of the Seven Sages was stolen from us, he croaks. News suggests that the Scorpion men are in possession of it. I need a young adventurer like yourself to travel to Scorpion Bight and return the book to me. In return, I can show you how to improve the skill of your choice. Sure. Very well then, says Palietis, visibly pleased. Meet me here once you obtain the artifact, and I will reward you. With that, you leave his table. The Gold Dust Tavern... yeah, okay. That's the same thing. Go back. And let's explore. You walk around the smelly streets of the sulphurous city. The market is large and busy. At the corner of Brimstone Plaza, gigantic braziers burn sweet-smelling incense in an attempt to overpower the rotten egg smell that permeates the whole city. There are many stalls and goods to choose from. Your adventuring instincts push you to explore some of the back streets. Explore the city by day. You can explore the port quarters, the harbor area, the area around the palace. The harbor area? While taking a stroll through the busy harbor area, you overhear a conversation between two merchants and learn the most profitable trading routes between Sokara and Golnir. You are positive that this new information will come in handy if you make a small investment in the Merchants Guild. The Merchants Guild of Yellowport is a large building of granite, plushly decorated inside to show off its wealth. Here you can bank your money for safekeeping or invest it in guild enterprises in the hope of making a profit. You hear that the Guildmaster is looking for adventurers. Visit the Guildmaster. Guildmaster Vernon of Yellowport is surprisingly eager to see you. He is a hugely fat and bejeweled merchant, and he tells you that a group of rat men have made a base in the sewers beneath the city. They come out at night to raid the warehouses and homes of the merchants of Yellowport. We need an adventurer like yourself to destroy their king, explains the Guildmaster. Without him, the rat men wouldn't be able to organize a feast in a larder. We will pay you 450 shards if you succeed. Take up the task. Vernon tells you that the sewers can be entered via an old disused well in the poor quarter. Whenever you are ready to enter the sewers, they will be accessible when you explore the city. Well, I kind of want to see how easy it would be. Okay, it's a medium. Okay, so should be doable. Potentially. I also wanted to check this out. You can invest money in multiples of 100 shards. The guild will buy and sell commodities. Okay. I do not have the money for it. Well, let's give this a shot. Go down to the city sewers. You climb down an old, disused well in the poor quarter of Yellowport. It is dank, dark, and smelly down below. If you do not have a light source, such as a lantern, you will have to return to the city. I do have a lantern. Follow a tunnel into the darkness. The dank tunnels, running with rivulets of foul water, take you deeper into the unknown. You mark the twisting passages with chalk so that you can find your way back. Shortly, you come out into a large, rough-hewn cavern, wreathed into shadows that dance and flicker in the light you have brought. A sound makes you start in surprise. Failed thievery roll. 3 hulking shapes appear out of the shadows as if from nowhere. They are hideous creatures, man-like, standing on 2 legs, but with the tail and hairy features of a gigantic rat. Their yellowing teeth snap at you as they lunge for you. The ratmen also wield wicked-looking short swords in their hands. "Get the human!" yells one of them in a bestial voice. You must fight them. Fight! This will be interesting. Okay. Well, let's get our bear out here. And let's defend. Probably better to defend, honestly. Oh boy. Well, I feel like I am dead here. That's the one that moves next? Okay. Well, there's one gone. Oh boy. Oh, that didn't do much damage. Ouch. Well, at least that one's gone. Well, at least my bear can help me a little bit. Hey! We survived! The ratmen lie defeated at your feet. You find 15 shards on the bodies and a note which says, "Hearty kitchens tonight. Rank and file rats only, no officers and no king allowed. The rest of the cavern is bare, so you press on down the tunnel ahead." After a while, you come to a cleaner area of the sewers, a part of the old city now buried under Yellowport. It dates from the period when all of Harkuna was ruled by the masked ones of Utaku, before the people overthrew them. You come to 2 rotten wooden doors. Names have been scratched onto them by some half-literate ratman. One says, "Throne Room," I guess throne room. The other says, "Kitchens." You can hear gravelly rat voices from behind both doors. Well, I mean, that's where the king would be. Don't know how safe it would be to go in there, though. Before going in there. Although, they would be partying there, but I don't know if it's nighttime. I'm gonna say let's go to the throne room. Gingerly, you open the door. It leads to a curtained alcove through which you observe the room beyond. It is a long, low hall, clearly an ancient Utakin temple, from a time when the masked lords of Utaku ruled all of Harkuna, but now part of the sewers of Yellowport. A cheap wooden chair has been placed on the altar to act as a throne. On it sits a large and extremely ugly rat man. He has a tacky amulet around his neck and a rusty iron hoop for a crown. About 4 rat men are kneeling before him, engaged in conversation. "But Scab," one of the rat men is saying. "That's great King Scab to you, dung breath," bellows the rat on the throne. Huh. Well, I mean, I'm not a mage, so I don't think that would work. I would probably have to do a magic roll, and I don't think that would work well. No. Sneaking and the assassination thing is probably that. And that is probably charisma. So maybe this? Yeah. You will have to sneak in around the hall to get behind the king. There are plenty of shadows to hide in, but it will not be easy. Oh boy. Woohoo! Successful theory roll! You inch your way slowly around the edge of the old temple. Suddenly, you burst out of the shadows and cut the king down, catching the rat men by surprise. At the sight of you standing over their dead king, the 4 remaining rat men flee in terror. Without their king, they have no spirit for a fight. King Scab's rusty iron crown shattered when he fell, so you take the copper amulet from around his neck. You also find a chest in the corner of the room, but it is clearly booby-trapped. I mean, I could try that. Yeah. Disarming the traps should be no match for your thievery skills. And it wasn't. The chest springs open with a click. Inside you find 60 shards, a mandolin, and a potion of healing. Nice. There's also an ancient religious text about the gods of the Otaku called the Scroll of Ebron, which reveals that one of the gods of the Otaku is called Ebron and that he has 14 angles. Okay. Well, that will be helpful if I go to Otaku. Here you go, sir. Ooh, nice. Guildmaster Vernon is pleased to see you. You hand him the copper amulet and he exclaims joyfully, "The amulet of King Scab! Well done indeed!" You are given 450 shards as a reward. Very nice. Let's do that. And let's put 100 in there. That way I can do investing. Invest 100 shards. Yep. Done investing. Return to the town center. Well, let's see. Well, actually, let's heal ourselves. Now, let's see about going up to the druids up here. Let's go to Trefoy. The main road between Marlock City, Trefoy, and Karambaru is well maintained with regular guard posts. The Sokarans are nothing if not efficient. Find a sword, ordinary weapon. A lucky find in the bushes near the road. Someone must have left in a hurry as you stumble on an abandoned campfire and a fine sword lying on the ground. You continue onwards. The city of Trefoy is a terrifying vision of apocalyptic destruction. It had once been a thriving crossroads town, but now it is a burnt-out hulk. It was almost razed to the ground when it declared for the late king during the recent civil war and tried to hold out against the army of Grieve Marlock, the current protector general of Sokara. It was then sacked by the General's mercenaries, and General Marlock is now trying to rebuild it. Craftsmen are hard at work everywhere. Unfortunately, there is nothing here but ashes and rubble. Oh, let's go to the Road Tavern. You join the much-traveled road that connects Trefoil and Karambaru. The traffic mostly consists of convoys of troops and supplies. Eventually, you come to the Weary Pilgrim Tavern, a way station between the cities. The tavern costs you 1 day and 1 shard a day. Yeah, I know. Buy drinks all around. A trader from the far north tells a story about a great wizard, Targdaz the Magnificent, who was tricked by a shaman of the Horde of the Thousand Winds on the Great Steppes. He imprisoned Targdaz inside a giant ruby and proceeded to loot Targdaz's tower. But in his stupidity, he opened the great wizard's casket of imponderables and unleashed a terrible storm that swept across the steppes, scattering many of the tribes far and wide. The shaman was killed, of course, but as far as anyone knows, Targdaz is still trapped in the ruby, waiting patiently for release. Perhaps for another 100 years, who knows? One thing's for certain, it won't be me trying to get him out. There's not much else to hear. Leave. Forest of Laroon, sorry. The Forest of Laroon is a mighty swath of densely packed trees, a slice of primordial nature in the middle of busy, industrious Sokara. You thread your way through the ranks of trees. In places, the forest canopy almost blocks out the sunlight completely, and you are wandering in deep shadow, haunted by the cries of the creatures of the forest. Seek the Willow Druid. You're on a quest to take the oak staff to the Willow Druid, who lives in a sacred grove somewhere in the forest. You wander around looking for unusual tracks, strange creatures, anything that might lead you to a druid's den. Awesome. You come across a forest glen. Birds twitter in the trees and woodland animals frolic playfully about. In the middle of the glade stands a mighty willow, ancient beyond reckoning. The trunk is hollow and a wooden door has been set in the entrance. You step into the glade. Awesome. You are pious enough to be allowed to enter the sacred grove. You step in and knock on the door. A kindly old druid opens the door and greets you. You hand him the oak staff. "Thank you," says the druid. "An oak staff, eh? That's an interesting message, to be sure." He hands you 50 shards as payment and a willow staff, saying, "Please take this staff to the oak druid in the City of Trees on the Isle of Druids. I'm sure he'll reward you too. Good day and thanks again." With that, he shuts the door. Head back into the forest. Might as well. Venture deeper into the forest. You hack your way through the undergrowth until you stumble across an old ruin. Creepers and forest moss have grown over most of it, but you can see mask-like faces set into the walls, glaring down at you as if in angry outrage at your intrusion. You come to a massive stone slab, clearly a door. Set into the middle of it is a round granite face, the visage of a sleeping demon. Suddenly, an eye pops open and regards you curiously. "By the tentacles of Tantalon," exclaims the face in a gravelly voice. "A human! I haven't seen one of you lot for 100 years. An expression of suspicion forms on its rocky features. "What do you want anyway?" "Just passing through," you comment airily. "Well, you can't pass through me unless you know the password, and that was given to me by Astralis the Wizard King, let me see now, 1,000 years ago, by Ebron. This is his tomb, you know." "How do I find the password then?" you ask. "Well," says the demon door, "Astralis was a wizard, so why don't you ask some wizards?" "Where would I find some wizards?" you ask. "How would I know?" replies the door testily. "I've been stuck here for 1,000 years. You decided it's time to leave. And that is also where I'm going to end this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!